Okay, welcome again. So Vicky and I are here to talk a little bit more about the invisibles of gut health. And we wanted to sort of delve into why it's understanding what's going on is important. Like understanding what the invisibles are, understanding how the system works. So kind of to use a metaphor is a little bit like, well, I just had a memory pop into my mind. Do you remember like showing my age and showing how dumb I can be when I don't understand? But the first time I got a smartphone, I don't know about you, but I had trouble. It was like, so it's a phone, right? Mobile phone, a smartphone. And couldn't for the life of me. So I'm using it. And then the day came when I needed to make a phone call on my phone. It was mobile phone. Could I find the keypad? I was like, so contacts was fine, but then I needed to phone a number that I didn't know who the person was. I needed to put in like 900, blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking at this and I didn't understand. That's basically my point here. I didn't understand how to find the keypad. I had to call one of my daughters and they had to explain, Mum, you need to swipe it and the keypad will show up. But I was just looking at it and tapping all these things, didn't understand I needed to swipe it to find the keypad. And it was so ridiculous. I mean, I laughed, obviously. It was like, this is a phone and I can't call anybody. But it was literally that, like, I don't know how to make a phone call on my phone. But that was a simple sort of a demonstration, simple example of how understanding how something works is quite important. Yeah. Like understanding you need to swipe is quite important to knowing how to use a device. And we have little understanding. Generally, human beings have little understanding of how our human experience works. Yeah. There are principles of how we function as human beings, and one of the principles is a principle of thought, and we have this amazing principle of thought that brings everything to life. And understanding how that's working for us, and we're going to talk with we will talk about this in the program for sure. The invisible principle of thought is bringing everything to life, and it's what our health is made of. It's what goes wrong in our health, in the system. It's what is created. It's like the Play-Doh of life. It's like the Play-Doh. It's constantly changing and bringing us fresh new thought and giving us old thinking as well that's not helpful, that we don't recognize, as just keeps coming up and just keeps coming up and just keeps coming up. And they're the invisibles to the system. So understanding how this beautiful experience of life is created is really, really important in my mind. It's something that once I started to see, it's always working that way, it was mind-blowing that everything's thought. Everything. There's nothing that's not. And when I really looked in that direction and started to explore, test it out, realize that every experience that I have is created through this power of thought, this principle of thought. It was like, wow, really? So it, on some level, it showed me the power that I have to be in creation. In creation. What have you seen about understanding?
Well, when you were talking just then, it kind of brought up for me how that when I saw that we all think that we all have this power of thought that brings everything to life, I guess. That was a game changer in itself. But what kind of accelerated my ease, I suppose, with life was seeing one of the other principles that applies to all humans, and that is this idea that there's something incredible that's like running the system. You know, you might want to call it life, you might call it intuition, you might call it wisdom, you might call it mind, you might call it God. But it's that there's this invisible element to us that means that our heart beats without us having to do that. Like, I don't run my heart, I don't run my digestive system, that runs itself. But there's this invisibility to us that can be relied upon, that is health, that knows exactly how the body runs. And when we start to really see that for ourselves and really experience the power of that, that in itself has the potential to bring ease. And with ease comes health and well-being. They're like, that's our kind of default factory setting, is ease. We were born with ease. And obviously in the course we'll be exploring a lot more about how we end up with dis-ease. But yeah, I think that's probably all I want to say about it now, so that we can keep it short. Yeah, beautiful. So if you want to hear more and you want to explore with us, we've got this course starting in the middle of November called The Invisibles to Gut Health, and we'd love to have you join us. So you'll find all the details underneath this video. We'd love to see you. Hope to see you there.
Bye for now.
Bye.